This is Barnstable Today for Wednesday, April 8th. Welcome aboard. I'm Mark Mumford.
The Mass Cultural Council uses the Barnstable Town Hall hearing room as the venue to deliver a grant check. That's our focus today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Friel.
Launching the news conference was Assistant Town Manager Tom Lynch.
Downtown, the creative economy has been a key component of revitalization in Hyannis. And initiatives that we have put into effect have included the Shirley Blair Flynn Center, where we're working with artists who are somewhat struggling and just emerging artists. We have the Gaia Barn that we've had for a long time that has supported the art community. The Sarah Hall Artscape is also located on Pearl Street. And many of these initiatives have been fostered through the help of the Adams Grant contributions that we have gotten in the past. So Barnstable is very committed to having Hyannis as an arts destination. We do an annual survey in town asking folks what they like about our community, why they visit our community, and the number one issue as to why people come to downtown is for the arts and culture. So we know that it contributes a great deal to the economy of our community. We've got wonderful organizations like the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod and others that we've partnered with, and we work very closely with on many initiatives.
Wendy Northcross, CEO of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, addressed the economic impact of the arts here on the Cape.
People in the tech sector, and it's a significantly larger amount of people doing that. And as traditional economic development entities, the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce and Coastal Community Capital, our sister corporation, and many partners over the last several years have really taken a focus on the arts and artisan community to see how we can grow that cluster. How can we sustain and nurture these people that are making good livings in many cases here on the Cape, and how can they grow more customers both here and from off Cape. We would love to see Cape Cod known for something more than just its beautiful beaches, and I think that that's to our great credit that we have such an iconic place, but we are equally rich in the assets of the artisan community, and we really need to promote that. We need to have the same worldwide reputation for the arts that we do for our Cape Cod houses or just our beautiful environment. So through this whole process, inspired and led by the Mass Cultural Council and the community at large, we're really excited to be here today. We've got a great project that we think will absolutely link those iconic Cape Cod images that inspire the arts to be installed in home building on the Cape, and we think that that's going to become a great advantage for our artisan community. So we're very, very excited to be part of that big process today, and I'm very honored to introduce my colleague, Anita Walker, who's been a brilliant executive director of the Mass Cultural Council. She's just burning up the streets. And I'm glad to have what Claire's giving me.
Our partners. I just want to point out the partners.
And our partners. Well, my job is first to introduce you, so I'm going to go by the script. But we do have many, many partners in our work, and we just couldn't do it if it was just left up to one organization. But it does start at the top, and Anita's certainly at the top of our heart. So Anita Walker, Mass Cultural Council.
Mass Cultural Council Executive Director Anita Walker linked the Adams Grant money to job creation.
Mainly, I'm here to congratulate you and thank you for your enormous work. As you know, the economy is heavy on everybody's mind, and one of the things that I really love about this creative economy work is that it is not only building prosperity in Massachusetts, it is not only a driver in the third largest industry in the state, which is tourism. And we know that our cultural tourists stay twice as long and spend twice as much money when they come to visit. But it also makes our communities a great place to live for those of us who live and work here in Massachusetts. So nothing delivers more than this work in the creative economy. I want to talk just briefly about a couple of things that we're looking at. Obviously, this work could not happen without the support of our legislators up on Beacon Hill, and you have a dynamic and passionate delegation, the senator not the least of which, but a leader of those who speaks on your behalf to make sure that we can keep making these partnership investments with you here on the Cape. And without that effort, we wouldn't be here today to be able to make these investments. But I don't think I would be speaking out of turn to say that the legislature has that confidence, because when they look out their windows they see the work that you're doing, and they know that it's making a difference. This year, it's going to be tough road to hoe up on Beacon Hill as we try to balance a very difficult budget. At the Mass Cultural Council, we're hoping for even funding. We think that would be a win. We certainly understand the stresses, but we think that this is a strategic investment in growing the economy. And while we're all having to do the belt tightening because times are tougher than they have been, we also have to make choices on where we invest our money, and we want to make sure we make those investments where they're going to pay back. Last year, in partnership with Mott, we did some research and found out that for every single dollar the state invests through the Mass Cultural Council and the Mass Office of Travel and Tourism, $5 go right back into the general fund. So this is a strategic investment. We're also looking to continue next year the enormously powerful program, the Culture Facilities Fund, and I know there are organizations in this room that have been beneficiaries of that capital investment. 5,000 plus construction jobs are resulted from the 120 projects that we've invested in, and more than 500 permanent jobs. Jobs are what it's all about in this economy, and nothing.
Cape and Island State Senator Rob O'Leary offered a very personal perspective on the arts.
My father was involved in art education and in the 50s and 60s. And I ran across one document where he was bemoaning the fact that the Commonwealth was not investing in art colleges to the extent it was investing in technological and business-based institutions in the state. And that this was really a mistake, that they were undervaluing one part of our community at the expense of the other, or overvaluing it. And I was struck by the kind of connections here, because there is a tendency for us to see the arts as an extra, as something on the side, that in the good times we can step up and provide funding. But when things get tight, when we have to pull back, when we have to tighten the belt, that's oftentimes the very first thing that goes. You see it in K-12 in terms of art education and music education. You see it in the willingness of the Commonwealth to fund cultural programs. And yet, it's very, for a variety of reasons that I've already been spoken to, it's very short-sighted. First of all, it's wrong. It undervalues the economic contributions that art plays in our communities, and then it also undervalues, I think, the aesthetic impacts that they have in terms of the quality of our lives. So we're going to fight that battle. These are clearly very, very difficult. This is going to be a very bad year. I'm become the prophet of gloom and doom, but it is bad, and it's getting worse. And April, looks even worse than March. And as that unfolds, we're going to have to deal with it. We have to live within the constraints of what we have. But to the extent I can be an advocate for the issues that are important to you, I am passionate about it. They are important to me.
The town hall ceremony wrapped up with the handing over of the big check.
All right. Okay.
We'll pass it quickly. Yeah. Run it right to the day.
Who else signed? Do we?
You sign. Yeah.
Go ahead.
We'll receive it. Okay. Now we'll get everybody's picture.
Your signature is a work of art.
I'm not ready.
Thank you very much.
The Mass Cultural Council yesterday released $1.3 million statewide in similar grants.
Meanwhile, on the town calendar this evening, just one meeting, and that's Old Kings Highway at 7 in the West Barnstable Community Building.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Kevin Friel.
We'll meet you right back here tomorrow. I'm Mark Mumford.